I'm currently on track to have my best trading month ever, and it's blowing the past months of performance out of proportion like crazy right now. I'm gonna give you a rundown of what today's trade was for some context for the viewers that haven't watched the short form video yet. Woke up with a 57.14% chance to go to the downside. That is below our 60% threshold for not having to go to a weekly VWAP. So we dropped down to that time frame and we opened above the first deviation of upper VWAP mean, which gives us the indication that we're gonna have a drawdown back to VWAP. So we're just gonna roll with puts. This was a great decision because not only the VWAP direction was puts, but also the probability was puts. So it's all a consensus cohesive decision. And so we bought puts at market open for $28, and 2 exact hours, those $28 contracts turned into $13 contracts, $15 loss per contract. 53.57% loss on the trade as a whole. This is a good win because it's below our average loss. So in the grand scheme of things, it makes our model more profitable, even though it was a loss, which is, good. And honestly, in today's price action, it really was sideways. Both calls and puts would not have been profitable in this 2-hour binary option trade. And, in the grand scheme of things, our model was correct again. Within the first 2 hours, the market finished below market open. I keep saying market, I'm supposed to say price. I think you understand what I mean. The graph shows that it was a winning trade if you were to take the shares outright as puts. And if you were to look at market follow-up, we ended up closing pretty low, closed in the 690s, the low 690s. After hours, it's rallied back up to 693s, but overall the market was very correct, in the sense that we did go down within the first 2 hours of market open, which was a fabulous news. Now, I want to bring your attention over to this chart right here. This is the monthly returns on the model so far. June's a funky month because we started in the middle of June. So even if you consider that, out of the equation, this still stays true. You see a lot of returns right here. These are monthly returns. Assuming you take $30. Whoa, I can't speak. These are monthly returns, assuming you take a $30 contract per trade under the model. And as you can see, through July, through all the way to January on full months of trading, we're profitable. You see highs of 46%, lows of 26% drawdowns, but then inconsistent 22 and 24% returns, 23% in January. And we're approaching the middle of February. We have we have 13 trading days left in the month of February, so there's still a lot of room for downswing. But this is what the number looks like for February. We've traded 7 days, $30 in contract per day, so $210 has been put into the markets, and we've returned a P&L of $412. That's 196% returns for the month. That's pretty insane. It's actually pretty insane. It blows everything out of proportion. And if I, put the Excel color grade onto that number, everything else is going to look like an absolute, minuscule return compared to what the month of February is about to print out if it stays this way. I don't think it's going to stay this way. But the way markets return, unless we have a lot of 90% losses and not a lot of 95% losses, this is only going to mellow out to around an 80% return. That's my guess. That's my guess, 80%. Which is ridiculous. Which is absolutely ridiculous. 80% account returns in a month is pretty insane. And, I think any day trader sees this and they'd be like, wow, that return of, that rate of return is so high. You must be risking so much. I'm only risking 5% of the account per trade. That's it. Obviously, you can, go even safer with 3% or 1%, but 5% itself is, nothing. I'm not, full porting, half porting, even quarter porting. I'm nickel porting. So this is a pretty good return. February is looking to be one of the best months so far. So I'm really excited to see how it goes on for the rest of the month. Because even if we take, 95% loss, if we just constantly take fat losses, I'm still going to be here and be like, yeah, still a good month. Still a very good month. And you want to know why it's crazy? It's because we have 13 trading days left. If we were to take 100% losses for the rest of February, we'd still end up with profit. That's crazy. If we were to take the normal allotted loss, which is going to be around $16 a contract, assuming $30 contracts, we would only take $200 in losses. That leaves us with $208, which is, Ridiculous. Leaves us with $200 in profit on a $600 investment. That would be ridiculous returns. You know, I'd take that any day of the week, and I think any trader would take that any day of the week. So we're looking really good. Super excited to see how it goes. You know, if there's any time to watch my videos or pay attention to my trades, it's now, because we're probably gonna see the best month of trading we've had so far. So it's pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. And you know, going into, you know, the trading psychology of it all, I think this is a cool thing to look at, and it's not boring to me. The operation is still staying boring. And I watched a YouTube video the other day, and the title was it was something along the lines of, why do boring business models make you so rich? And I'm like, what? If you're gonna get filthy rich off of any business model, I don't think it's gonna be boring. And then I look into my own business model. You know, it's not really a business, but it's a business model to me, and the operation has stayed the same throughout the whole entire course of its lifetime. We're now trading on nearly 7 full months of this model, and it's been running the same way for 7 months. And the returns aren't boring, but the operation is so boring. It's a one-man operation. We only need one person to do the trading. It doesn't involve a team. It doesn't really involve any sort of management or quality controls or analysts. It's all me. And I've tried and failed. And like, that's the non-boring part, is that you try a bunch of trading strategies. You try a bunch of different indicators. You try a bunch of different models, and obviously you pan out to one that works, and, you know, kaboom, you're set. So it's really cool to see, you know, it all pan out really nicely. But it's completely correct. The boring business models make you the most money, not because it's a minuscule task, and it's not because you're locking yourself in a cubicle or a desk and just locking your head in a room, but it's the same operation over and over again. And it's the discipline of waking up every single day and doing the same thing over and over again, knowing that the outcome is going to be better in the end. That's just my rant for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, you take a 53% loss in the day and you're still really happy about your trading system. Not many people can say that, so I'm pretty happy. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Follow the socials. Deuces.